Once upon a time, there was a curious traveler named Jack who had a fascination with the legends of Greek islands. He came across a story about Euboea, also known as Euboea, the second largest Greek island by population and area, standing after only Crete. Jack immediately became intrigued and decided to explore the island himself. He made his way to the Mediterranean Sea, where he boarded a ferry to Euboea. The island was long and narrow, stretching about 180 kilometers in length, and varying in breadth from 50 kilometers to 6 kilometers. A mountain range ran throughout its length, forming part of the chain that borders Thessaly to the east, and extends south of Euboea to the towering islands of Andros, Tinos and Mykonos. As Jack explored the island, he found himself mesmerized by the Euripus Strait at its tightest point, which separated the island from Boeotia in mainland Greece. He had never seen such a narrow body of water before. He spent hours watching the strong currents run through it. After his explorations, Jack learned that Euboea is a major component of the regional unit of Euboea, which also includes Skyros and a small area of the Greek mainland. He was fascinated by the history and culture of the island and spent many days immersed in the local traditions. In the end, Jack left Euboea with a newfound respect for Greek islands and the people who call them home. He promised himself that he would come back again soon to explore more of the beautiful island of Euboea. Euboea, the island of many names, was once divided into several territories represented by its different appellations. One tale tells of how the name Euboea came to be. Legend has it that a group of travelers stopped at a well to water their oxen, before continuing their journey. The oxen were so pleased with the water that they refused to move. This prompted the travelers to remark that the water must be from good oxen, which was eventually shortened to the present name. During medieval times, the island's capital, Chalcis or Euripos, became the preferred way to refer to Euboea. However, classic writers still used the name Euboea up until the 16th century. As the centuries passed, the island's name underwent many changes, particularly during Venetian and Ottoman rule. The phrase, to Evripos, was altered to Nevripos, and became Negroponte in Italian. The name was most commonly used during the Venetian period. Other variants include Egripons, Negripo, and Negropont. When the Ottomans took control of the island, they renamed it to Egrabas or Agrabas after the Euripos Strait. Nevertheless, the island's long and varied history has preserved its many interesting details and intriguing tales. Once upon a time, there lived a Greek mythological figure named Euboea. It was believed that Euboea was originally a part of the mainland, but it was separated by an earthquake. The bays near Chalcis were so confined that the story of Agamemnon's fleet being detained there by contrary winds was plausible. Chalcis was known for the Euripus Strait, which was only 40 meters wide but featured extraordinary changes in tide. Sailors were afraid of passing through this area, and the main line of traffic from the north of the Aegean to Athens used to bypass Chalcis and the Euboic Sea. During the Peloponnesian War, which was in its 21st year, a bridge was constructed over the Euripus Strait. This helped to make travel safer and easier for sailors passing through the area. The geography of the island led to it being divided into three distinct parts: the fertile and forested north, forested mountainous center, and the barren south where agriculture was limited to coastal valleys. The main mountains on the island were Durfi, Cantili, Pixaria, and Oki. The neighboring gulfs of Euboea included the Pagasetic Gulf, Malian Gulf, North Euboean Gulf in the west, Euboic Sea, and Pedalian Gulf. The Patalioi archipelago was situated to the southwest while the Manilia Islands were located to the west. According to the 2001 census, the island had a population of 198,130 and a total land area of 3,684 square kilometers. Euboea served as an important location for sailors throughout history, from the days of ancient Greece to modern times. The narrow strait and changing tides of the Euripus made it a challenging and sometimes treacherous place to navigate, but the beauty of the island and its unique geography have made it a place of fascination for people of all ages. The history of the Greek island of Euboea is a fascinating one, intertwined with the stories of two powerful cities, Chalcis and Eretria. Established by Ionian Greeks from Attica, these cities went on to expand their influence through the establishment of colonies in Magna Graecia, Sicily, and along the coast of Macedonia, creating new trade routes and spreading Western civilization. Their commercial influence was evident in the use of the Euboic scale of weights and measures across various Ionic cities, including Athens. Moreover, it's possible that Euboea was where the Greek alphabet was first employed, and some have suggested that Homer may have lived on the island. Although Chalcis and Eretria were once rivals and equally powerful, they fought in one of the earliest major military conflicts in Greek history, the Lelantine War, with many other Greek city-states also taking part. Unfortunately, Eretria was destroyed by Persian armies in 490 BC, along with Athens and other Ionian Greek states. Still, the city was rebuilt after the Battle of Marathon, but it never regained its former glory. Persian armies also occupied Euboea in 480 BC, withdrawing after their defeat at the Battle of Plataea. Athens viewed the island as a crucial territory and gradually reduced both Chalcis and Eretria into its dependency. The island was a valuable source of grain and cattle, and controlling it allowed Athens to better protect its trade routes from piracy. In 506 BC, Athens invaded Chalcis and settled 4,000 Attic Greeks on their land, effectively subduing the whole island. A revolt occurred in 446 BC, but Pericles led Athens to capture Histiaea in the north for their own settlement. Despite Athens' control, Euboea regained its independence by 410 BC during the Peloponnesian War, organized into the Euboean League from the Hellenistic period well into the Roman imperial period. However, it fell under Philip II of Macedon's control after the Battle of Kyrenia in 338 BC. It was finally incorporated into the Roman Republic in the 2nd century BC. One interesting fact about Euboea is that Aristotle died there on his mother's family estate in Chalcis in 322 BC after fleeing Athens.
Do you want to explore more Greek mythology stories? Who do you want to see featured next? Subscribe and leave a comment below to let me know. I'll see you in the next video.